Devils in Details Part 5. Fuck, this sucks. So when we were removing the carriage bolts from the truck, a lot of them stripped out. Not only that, 90% of them we had to cut out, so I knew I had to replace the bolts anyway. Now, I don't like carriage bolts. They have nothing to grip on the other side, which makes it kind of a pain in the ass. So I wanted to replace all the carriage bolts with hex bolts. Not that I really plan on taking the truck apart ever again, but hypothetically, if it has to happen, it makes things easier on me. Now, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I like old, I like dirty, and I like rusty. So at that point, I'm sitting there thinking about these shiny bolts next to a matte, flat, whatever you want to call it, truck. And I didn't like the idea of that. So we're getting creative. Every bolt on this truck that's visible will get replaced with a hex bolt. So I'm going for kind of that industrial vibe, but then I need it to be dingy, I need it to be dirty, I need to be rusty. So to start with, just like the diamond plate we did on the bed, we need to oven off all the shiny parts. And as you can see, I'm a glutton for punishment. But there are the visible bolts and the visible washers that'll be on the truck. Now, I'm not entirely sure how many of these I'm going to do. I'll put maybe a little number up here in a second, but I have to do it to everything. And then I'm going to paint them to look rusted so that it gets the aesthetics I want. So let's hose this thing down with oven off, get them all treated up, and then get them onto the truck. Now that I've coated them all with the oven off, cleaned it up, things like that, we're going to do a rust effect paint. This one's from Modern Masters. Basic principle of this product, you paint 2 layers of a primer. Once the primer is on and dried, we do a Metal Effects iron oxide paint. And then we hit it with whatever magic's inside here, the rust activator. So because I hate myself, I've got all these bolts to do. So we're just going to paint them up arbitrarily. There's no rhyme or reason as to how I'm doing this. I'm just going to apparently not be strong enough to frickin' get the paint lid off, but oh, it's got a little bit of, it's like it leaked a little bit. All right, I see what's going on. Anyway, we're going to just paint them up kind of arbitrarily and then do the effects. We'll see how it turns out. Well, my magic bullet rusting stuff kind of worked. You can kind of see certain spots where for some reason the stuff didn't work. Now, that's a problem for me. So we're going to do it the hard and the pain in the ass way. We're going to be using chestnut, satin black, flamenco red, antique copper, and apricot. I've done enough stuff like this over the years. I know how to paint rust if I have to. Unfortunately, the magic bowl didn't work, so here we go. $99 bolts. 99 bolts, hand painted to look like they're rusting. Why? Because apparently I hate myself. But trust the vision, my friends. There's a method to my madness. With me being all about the aesthetics of things, we got to talk about the roof liner, that diamond tuck and roll. Now, it's obviously going back in because I love that shit. But I'm going for a certain look. I'm going kind of an industrial look, rat rod look, whatever you want to call it. So I could put them back in with the same screws, but no, that's not how we're going to do it. So let's see if we can get these up here somehow. All right, so these are little aluminum spikes. They belong on a motorcycle, according to what I found. But we are going to chop these suckers down, make them look rusty like everything else, seat them up in top. Now, my mom's already called me an idiot. She's worried about my safety. But one, I don't plan on getting in an accident. And two, you got to think, like, here's where, say, the, oops, get down here. Here's where the spike is. They're just on the outside edge. My head won't go up into it, even if I hit a bad bump. Secondly, if I get in a bad enough accident, I'm not concerned about the spikes. I drive a 1969 Chevy. I don't got airbags. I don't got nothing. So I'm screwed anyway you look at it. So might as well have fun. So the diamond tuck and roll goes up there, right? Well, originally I had little screws. Not going with the motif that I'm kind of creating this as I call it, an industrial looking vibe. So diamond tucker roll's still going back, but we got some new hardware we got to get mounted up, and we're going spikes. Why spikes? Because hell yes, that's why spikes. So to do that, all we got to do is drill some holes in the roof, shove the rubber grommets up in there, done. Perfect. Now technically these are done. You can kind of see what I was doing here. But since the truck isn't ready to be rebuilt yet, I thought I would at least kind of show you the method to my madness and how badass this is going to look when it's done. Now I couldn't just leave the diamond plate alone. You know, being that it was in the bed, I wanted to have some highlights somewhere else. So we have on the side of my truck these little bars that come out that have the lights on them for the taillights. I'll be honest, I broke one of the lights getting it off. So I need to buy new lights. Now that led me to go down the rabbit hole of the interweb and find new lights. And I really liked these. These belong to, I think it was a 1936 Ford Model A, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. It was something, maybe I'll just, if I'm wrong, I'll just put something here. Anyway, light up, they say the word stop in them. Hilarious. So these are gonna be my new brake lights, and then my new white backup lights, just little LEDs. So now that we have had Uncle Scott steel fabricate some diamond plate, made it rusty, and a new bar, all this based off of, I think it's actually over here. Hold on one second. Yep, there it is. Oh, so much stuff in this garage. Based off of the original bar for the original lights. We're gonna throw this stuff together and make some really cool ones. So now we got two pretty badass tail lights, and the rusted bolts completes the aesthetic. So another part down. Devil's in the details.